Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is hereby called to order. I am Catherine Powers, Chair of the MARTA Board of Directors. Is there anyone present tonight that needs a sign language interpreter or translator? Should anyone need assistance, staff is available. This public hearing is being conducted tonight at the Forest Park Community Center, 696 Main Street, Forest Park, Georgia, 30297, to consider proposed bus service modifications effective April the 20th of 2024. I would like to recognize the MARTA senior staff who is present. Ian Cara, Director of Public Engagement. Thank you, Ian. We invite your comments at this public hearing to give residents and concerned citizens the opportunity to voice their opinion on the proposed bus service modifications that are effective April the 20th of 2024. When making the final decisions on the proposal, the MARTA Board will consider comments received this evening along with any other letters that are received. In accordance with the MARTA Act, the MARTA Board of Directors has established rules governing public hearings, and copies of these rules have been made available to each of you. I particularly call your attention to Rule Number 2, which requires that all persons desiring to be heard must register with the official presiding over the hearing. Speakers will be heard in the order in which they register. At this time, we will hear from Ryan Van Sickle, Director of Technical Services and Service Planning, who will provide an overview of the proposed bus service modification effective April the 20th of 2024. Thank you, Mr. Van Sickle.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to begin by thanking our customers for your patronage and support. MARTA typically conducts service modifications 3 times a year. These service modifications are guided by MARTA's service standards and federal requirements under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. The proposed changes for April 20th, 2024 include modifications to routes 192 and 195 as follows. Route 192, Old Dixie, Terra Boulevard. To provide better access to jobs and other key destinations along US 1941 Old Dixie Road, it is proposed to modify Route 192 to travel along Charles W. Grant Parkway and US 1941 Old Dixie Road to Central Avenue. Route 192 service will be discontinued on College Street and Old Dixie Highway. However, the affected segment of Old Dixie Highway will continue to be served by Route 193. There are no other routing or frequency changes proposed for Route 192. Route 195, Forest Parkway. To provide better access to jobs in the Gillum Logistics Center, it is proposed that the portion of Route 195 east of State Route 54, Jonesboro Road, be restructured to serve the area. Service will be provided on a one-way loop using northbound State Route 54, Jonesboro Road, eastbound Metcalf Road, southbound Metcalf Connector, eastbound Anvil Block Road, southbound Boulder Crest Road, and westbound on Forest Parkway. Service along I-675, as well as northbound service along Boulder Crest Road and eastbound service on Forest Parkway, east of Georgia 54 Jonesboro Road, will be discontinued. There are no other routing or frequency changes proposed for Route 195. MARTA Mobility, complimentary ADA service will be adjusted to reflect the modified route alignments to comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. That concludes the overview of the proposed service modifications for April 20th, 2024.
Thank you, Mr. Van Sickle. We will now receive comments from the public on this subject. Please come forward when your name is called. I will call on the speakers in the order in which they registered. A court reporter is making an official transcript, and your testimony will become part of the public record. We want everyone who wishes to do so to have the opportunity to speak. So each speaker is limited to no more than 3 minutes. If there is anyone in the audience who would like to speak, but who is not registered, please raise your hand and we will provide you with a registration card to fill out. When I call you, please give me your name, address, and the name of the organization that you may represent, if any. An individual may appear and speak for his or herself, or if duly authorized, for any local government, civic association, community club, and/or business association. The first speaker at the public hearing is Mr. Timothy Vondell Jefferson. Mr. Jefferson.
Timothy Vondell Jefferson, Unincorporated, Clayton County, 2261 Tamers Road, Unit 91, Lovejoy, Georgia. I concerned we passed the penny sales tax. We split that tax. Y'all get 0.5%, we get 1 cent. And to my understanding, the reason that we are limiting services because of bus driver shortage, this might go into a Q&A. If that's the case, another question I have is how much money does Clayton County have in the coffers for the 0.5%? The 0.5 penny cents, how much money is there? Because I feel like to some degree we got hoodwinked because we were pushing the mass transit rail system, and of course Norfolk Southern did not allow us to move forward on that, so that money was not spent. So I'm deeply concerned that we are cutting the route short for the working man or woman. But I think that if we got creative with the funds that we collected from the SPLOST, I think that we can increase the bus driver salary and make it a little bit more attractive for professional drivers moving forward. And I think that is the solution and the answer, so that we don't have to cut services and we can provide the services for the citizens that voted for that SPLOST tax. So that is my concern. We got hoodwinked on the mass transit rail. I don't know what's going on with the rapid bus system. All of those creative ideas that were brought to the table, but the bottom line, in order to retain professional drivers, I think that we have to look at the budget. The funding is already there. I haven't done my due diligence yet to find out how much money there is because it was a short notice, so I just found out about this today. But I think that if we got creative and increase the salary of bus drivers, I think that we can increase the retention rate and, of course, hire professionals. And I think that's what we need to do, is to pay the drivers a little bit more compensation. And at the end of the day, the citizens of Clayton County win and MARTA wins. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Jefferson. Is there anyone else who would like to be heard at this public hearing? If there are no others in attendance who wish to speak, I would like to note that you may also submit comments no later than February the 15th of 2024. Please be assured that MARTA is interested in your comments. Persons desiring to provide oral comments about the proposed bus service modifications may call 404-848-5299 and submit comments via voicemail message. Written comments can also be sent via email to publichearinginfo, all one word, at itsmarta.com. Persons may also provide written comments by U.S. mail to MARTA External Affairs, 2424 Piedmont Road Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia, 30324. An overview of the proposed bus service adjustments, routing maps, can be viewed online at itsmarta.com. Physical copies of the proposed bus service changes, routing, and maps will also be available for public viewing at MARTA headquarters, 2424 Piedmont Road, until February the 15th of 2024. I would like to close by noting that there were 12 individuals present today and 1 individual made comments. There were no media representatives, and 8 MARTA board members and staff were present. Thank you for your participation at this public hearing, which is now adjourned. I hope all of you have a good night.